Hello. In this video, I'm going to talk about polite and rude behavior and how to describe polite and rude behavior using English. So let's start. So what does polite mean? Polite is something good or respectful. So polite is an adjective, keyosh, to describe good and respectful behaviors or people or manners. And it means to follow the rules. Rude is the opposite. Rude means not respectful, not good, and not following the rules. And behavior is kind of like manners. So how you act, the actions that you do, is your behavior. Okay, how to describe polite and rude behavior in English. For polite behavior, there are two easy ways to describe it. First, we can say, you should do something with a verb. So you can use any verb or verb phrase. Or, it's polite to, and it also uses a verb. Describing something rude, we can say, you shouldn't, plus verb. You shouldn't do something. Or, it's rude to do something. And so what is a verb? Remember, a verb is an action, doshi. And any verb phrase works in these sentences. So just a verb or a verb and an object, but remember, not a subject. So just a verb only. Here are some examples of verbs. Play, eat, go. And now we can make them a little bit more complicated. Play soccer, eat with chopsticks, go shopping. So these are examples of verbs and verb phrases that we can use. So for example, it's polite to eat with chopsticks. You shouldn't go shopping, for example. But what about an adjective like quiet? You should quiet? No, because quiet is an adjective, so we need a verb to go with it. So with adjectives, we can use be verb. You should be quiet. Let's look at this situation on the train. So this verb phrase, speak loudly, on the train, is that polite or rude? Remember, polite is good, rude is bad. So on the train, of course, it's rude. These are the phrases we use to describe rude behavior. You shouldn't, or it's rude to. So here are some sentences. You shouldn't speak loudly on the train. So it starts with the phrase, you shouldn't, and then the verb, speak loudly, and then the situation at the end, on the train. Or we can put the situation at the beginning. On the train, it's rude to speak loudly. So these sentences have the same meaning. Let's look at another verb on the train. Give your seat to elderly people. Is that polite or rude? Of course, that's polite. So we can say, you should, it's polite to. So again, some example sentences. On the train, you should give your seat to elderly people. It's polite to give your seat to elderly people on the train. Again, both of these sentences have the same meaning, using you should or it's polite to. Let's look at some more examples. So what are some polite and rude behaviors on the train? This is a question that can ask about polite and rude behaviors. So here are some more examples. You should be quiet on the train. So remember, here's this verb quiet, shh. You should be quiet on the train. We need this be verb. It's rude to make a phone call on the train. On the train, you shouldn't eat. It's polite to let people get off the train before you get on. So these are examples of train manners. What are some other situations? So here's some example questions. What are some polite and rude behaviors in the classroom? What are some things you should and shouldn't do when using chopsticks? What are some polite and rude behaviors when greeting someone? So these are examples of different situations: in the classroom, when using chopsticks, when greeting someone. Of course, in Japan, there's many examples of polite and rude behavior in various situations. Thanks for watching this video. I hope you can describe polite and rude behavior more easily now. See you next time.